I guess the last time in Ireland it was a noon kickoff too, right?
Actually, was
Ish.
the Boston College game a noon kickoff? 2016?
I don't know. Were you at that game?
I was not. I was not part of the Ireland crew.
Ah, man. I remember we got up kind of early for that game just to like do the watch party and couch. So
Mm-hmm.
it was probably like a noon local, if I had to guess. Is what happened.
Yes.
This is the Experience Podcast with me and someone else.
What is up?
Hello, I'm back.
It is good to see you again, Chase.
See me. Funny.
Well, it is what it is. But yeah, man, I mean, how about them jackets, right? We, as you have pointed out, we do not appear to be as terrible as we've been in previous years.
That has nothing to do with the firing of Jeff Collins and the ascendancy of Brett Key.
Oh yeah, totally. Nothing to do with that. Nah, but yeah, how about Tyler Santucci's calling a pretty good game on defense?
Mm.
Remember that was a weak link for us last year. My God.
Well, we appear to have learned how to tackle without using the good old arm tackle technique.
Oof, that's a good one.
So we possibly have a defense this year. I had no idea that DJ Wingalele, whatever, would be the QB for the Knowles, but the Criminals are not looking too good this year. I don't think they'll be a third in the country anymore.
Were you expecting Brock Glenn?
Who's that?
The quarterback that played in the ACC championship, and if you ask me, kind of sucked.
Oh, I didn't watch so much. I watched some of the college games last year, but I was busy with the other ones, and I don't know. The DJ was he was the Knowles quarterback, right?
Yeah, now he's the Knowles quarterback, but first he was at Clemson, then he was at Oregon State for a year, and then he came to FSU.
Oh, DJ, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the other guy, I don't know. The other guy was, he's that the third string backup guy that, what's his face guy? I forget wasn't he like the original USF guy? I don't remember, UCF guy.
Mackenzie Milton?
Yeah, wasn't he the QB for FSU? No, I don't remember where Mackenzie ended up, but like, Travis, I don't remember the guy.
Jordan Travis was
right.
him.
Right,
sure.
And then he got injured, and then
the
injury, once that injury, I was like, alright, their season's over. And they somehow won and made the fucking playoff anyway and got obliterated, so. Yeah, no,
How much of that you suppose had to do with all them starters leaving?
A lot, but they sucked ass once their QB and we got injured. So,
Yeah, good point. All the Lawrence Toafili and Keon Coleman's in the world can't save you if don't have a quarterback that can get the ball to him, or an offensive coordinator or a play caller that won't bash his head against the wall. Like, my God, watching the ACC championship last year was actually like torture.
Yeah, I truthfully don't remember. I watched a little bit of it and then stopped.
Yeah, that was the move. That was the move, honestly. But I mean, yeah, the defense looked a lot better. Buster Faulkner is still Buster Faulkner, but he looked like Paul Johnson on that drive in that game.
I guess we're gonna run our quarterback, King. We're gonna run him a lot because, damn, those run attempts. But hey,
I'm okay with that.
Why throw a ball when run ball work fine? until you need to throw a ball, and then he seems to be able to throw.
Oh yeah. He'll have to beat UGA a couple of times before we put him on the tier of Justin Thomas, though.
Yeah, I'll settle for UGA victory.
You think we can actually do it this year?
This year, fuck no. Hopefully every year after that, pretty easily.
Are you assuming Kirby Smart takes an NFL job?
I'm assuming that they're obvious fraud and a whole bunch of shit that's wrong with their, frankly, decades of their sticky transactional dealings under the table catch up with them, and their natties get exposed as fake.
Something. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the NCAA.
They never would be the NCAA, but there's other ways of.
You know the rest of it. You know the rest of it. Speaking of which, what are your thoughts on NIL?
NIL?
Yeah.
Useless shit.
Really?
Yeah. Doesn't do what it says it does.
And that is?
I don't know. I haven't looked in. I looked at like a fucking Wikipedia thing or an article one time, and I was like, nope. Let me look them back up and see. It's been months. NIL.
Mhm.
Oh, there's a photoshopped image immediately. College recruiting. Yeah. Yeah. Name, image, likeness. Yeah. Don't pay athletes for the, don't pay athletes. But we need to pay athletes.
But they're students.
Yeah.
I was like, on the one hand, they're students, but on the other, they bring the university a lot of money. Depends on which university you are.
Donations and political bullshit. More actually than people realize. And this is something I believed for a while was the athlete to, college money pipeline, but it's the corporations, it's the political bullshit behind the scenes, and that's tied to the Fed literally in terms of printing our money. So, well, you gotta think about it, right? Because the Fed literally prints money all day, every day, and they destroy money when they when they don't need to. Okay. And so when they manipulate the money market, the donos to a university change. And so the university system changes every time you do that.
What about
it's all that sticky bullshit.
What about all those grants?
Oh, those are all fucking fraudulent. The whole like grant, and I say this because I did the little bit of the research, and the whole like the NSF, if you look into them, it's a whole bunch of fraud. It's just they pick and choose things that they think will like ideas that will come to market because they're a business. It's best to think of the NSF as a business, right? Because it's a business. It ceased to be science very long ago when it started helping and if you didn't know this, it actually facilitated the suppression of many academic articles that made it to Nature. Some of them, think of like reactor technologies and shit, but they're suppressed because the NSF controls your funding. The problem is the NSF never, because they were a political body and a financial body more than a science body, what they did was suppress a whole bunch of shit. Let's selectively modulate what research comes through. And bam, you've got like Microsoft getting grants back in the day. But then you don't get like this, what about our robotics technology that we could, maybe think to? Nope.
Is that what, like Neuralink?
Oh, something like that. I'm a big believer in that technology.
All right.
I think that's just on the horizon, actually.
You think anybody at Tech might be able to experiment with that? Because I know right now Gen AI is the thing. Like Gen AI, large language models, whatever RAGs are, like that's the thing. That's the thing now.
Well, I mean, you know better than I do, but like a lot of that neural network shit is just Lego bricking a bunch of other simpler models together, and it's overcomplicated because they need academic grants.
It's math.
Again, it's just math. It's literally just a matrix, bruh. But it's very
math
complicated.
and linear algebra.
It's a matrix, and occasionally you stick two matrices together. And then what is a matrix? It's two-dimensional. But we got to make it a tensor. What is a tensor? A larger matrix. That's how your computer calculates it, 2 dimensions.
Oh. Never thought about that. But yeah.
But visualize it wrong, by the way, because we don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
Listen, I did not like linear algebra, so.
It's unfortunate because it's one of the more intuitive branches. I mean, everything's a matrix, and then all the terminology in linear is just let's slice up different things of a matrix. It is a matrix, bro. That is linear algebra. It's a matrix, bro. And then get ready for this. You know how like astrophysics? Have you ever heard the term tensor or tensor calculus?
I've only heard of tensor in the context of TensorFlow, which is a Python library for AI ML.
Tensors, which is built on tensors. Get ready for this. It's a matrix, bro. So, see, here's the problem with like comp sci research from the little that I did, relatively speaking. Mm-hmm. It's just a matrix, bro. It's not that fancy. But unfortunately, we got to make it fancy because we need grant money. So you just baffle them with bullshit and jargon, and they pay you money. So our TensorFlow, it's built on this, and I didn't read the original paper behind it from, I think, was that Google or was that, I forget who came up with TensorFlow, TBH, but I think it was Google.
Yes, you'd be correct.
PyTorch there's like a Facebook team that worked on PyTorch. And it's just total bullshit. It's all matrices, and it's, the problem with like, and it's like, and I'm sure you did like, did you TA or, do any teaching at Tech?
I wish, but no.
Cause I wish I could have too, but, I was gonna say that like, this is just handed down from professors. Teach this complicated bullshit because we don't know what we're doing either, but we need money. That's what academia it's this fucking loop, this constant cycle. It comes back to the grant money. It comes back to the donos. It's a disaster.
I don't know. We had a few professors that could actually teach. I mean, Lee could teach. Ramachandran could teach. These are my old CS professors. Dr. Sweat could teach. Dr. Sweat was great. I'm thinking, who else is a really good professor? Outside of those guys, I think the classes Riddell was good. Dr. Riddell was good. He's my intro to AI professor. Outside of that, like the courses I really enjoyed was not the teacher teaching, but really just the professor, facilitating discussion. So.
Right.
That's why I really liked, Dr. Peter Swire, who's, in this, I think he's in Scheller. He's kind of a law guy, a privacy law guy.
What is your Fourth Amendment rights and how can we violate them? That's Google.
Oof.
And Facebook. Fortunately, the idiots who collect the data are too fucking incompetent to use the data. Did you ever see any of like the WikiLeaks shit or the, what was it? I'm blanking on it real quick. But it's the, fuck, I'm actually blanking on it.
The Twitter files?
Those matter too, but it's the, like the WikiLeaks shit, the leaks on, like the PRISM program, the backdoor shit, the metadata farming, and the, Homeland Security connection and fucking the NSA. That's what I was.
You're talking about Snowden. You're talking about Snowden.
Snowden was related. Snowden's related, but it's all that network of information that
yeah.
It's really fortunate that they're incompetent as fuck because they did collect data that would be useful to spy on people. Now, good luck telling them that.
I ain't gonna say nothing.
Well, you don't have to say anything. It's just, it's just true, and it pisses me off because we have the Fourth Amendment, and that used to matter at some point, and it's not. And here's a thing: it's like good people. This is what pisses me off about like Google and Facebook and all these companies. Good people work there. Plenty of good people work there. Yes. And they are told you'll be fired unless you fix shit for us. You know what I mean? And unless you they will tell you need to collect data and make recommender systems and shit like that will harvest people's data. And thankfully it ends up being metadata a lot of times, but good luck telling them that. The problem is like, hey, that is a fundamental violation of the ethics that I believe in, not least of all what I was taught. And what that ends up being for you and for me and for anybody working at a tech company or whatever, I didn't actually work in one, but is, okay, so I've got to go along with a fundamental violation of my personal ethics for your profit model. And I swear to God, if a human being could glitch, that would absolutely be the case with some of these people. Because it's like, wait a minute, I thought of that. Wait, huh?
Are you talking about the whole cognitive dissonance thing, or?
Oh, partially.
It's not cognitive, it's doublethink.
It's both. It's cognitive dissonance, it's doublethink, it's things that get your mind, should get your mind thinking, but some people ain't the most mendacious of gentlemen.
Fair enough. Forgot where I was going with this. But I'll say that took a hell of a turn. How do we go from football to matrices to
Facebook or some shit?
Yeah.
Well, it's
that's the experience. Am I right?
Speaking of which, Daniel, we're 20 fucking minutes into your podcast and we just monopolized it again. How are you doing?
I can't ruin the flow, I just...
This is your show! We do this all the time!
Yeah, but the listeners hear enough about me. They hear me every week, So...
Oh!
You guys are more interesting. I'm just kind of... So...
Whale. There's plenty of things around the earth uninteresting. I think, when I was looking, because I was thinking similar tech thoughts when I was, after I watched the tech FSU game, I was like, I wonder if they've built, they've got the CODA shit going now, or the CODA building. Wonder if they've gotten, serious advancements because, it seems like we had advancements in neural networks for a couple years there and they just stopped.
It's Gen AI now. Gen AI is the shit.
Haha.
Eventually.
Artificial general intelligence. Don't look for anything.
I meant generative AI like ChatGPT. But yeah, I mean.
A nice attempt, but a toy.
I mean, eventually, data lakes and data warehouses and AI-ready data is going to become the thing. And just you mentioned harvesting metadata. It's you put all that metadata in a central place and you run a bunch of models on it. That might become a thing.
Well, that's a good way of putting it, actually, because theoretically that's already a thing. But the problem is, the average person is fucking retarded and can't understand math. And the average person ends up in positions of authority and of, authority, where they don't belong. And so you try to make models for these people. And ultimately, because, I worked for a flooring company and I did math for them, basically, in fucking Excel. Doing data, big data, bullshit. Big bullshit. But you can make all the models on a whole bunch of, and the data are always fucked up because it's a meme. But you can make all the models on data you want. But if nobody understands what you're talking about, you can just lie to them and tell them exactly what they want to hear. And they'll do it. They'll follow it. Because they want to hear shit. They don't want to hear the truth. They want to hear what confirms their biases, what gets them money. And that's...
Ouch.
That's just how it is. So the truth often, have a bar chart, have a pie chart. You know what I mean?
Have an architectural diagram that's this component links to this component and it's great. And we can argue all we want about how we're gonna divide up the work of actually the functionality that we want to build. It's does this developer do it? Does my developer do it? What are we doing? All sorts of fun.
I know, right?
You ever heard of systems engineering?
Unfortunately.
Yeah, that's the world I've gotten roped into.
I am
It's
so
like
sorry.
we're basically like design systems from scratch before even a single line of code is written, and just being like, yeah, we've got an architecture here. This kind of works. Like in this way, we can come up with use cases and stakeholders and stuff. But at the end of the day, somebody's got to write the code.
Well,
Of course, yeah.
I was gonna say, like, hopefully smart people write the fucking code because, as people learn all day, every day when they work at these companies, why do I have to do this project? Oh, because some fucking idiot from the prior iteration of this project said, do it this way, and we coded this ad hoc bullshit, and, it doesn't work because it's made of lies.
Oof.
It's made of people who, went to Georgia instead of tech.
It's actually funny. I got a weird story from work. It was like we tried to build an architecture. We want to build a bunch of microservices and just like have a common service layer for a bunch of apps that we want to host for some workload, big data workload processing that we wanted to do. It didn't work out because like they couldn't handle the applications that were going to get done. So we had to rehost the applications elsewhere, and we had to rework all of our data flows. It was a pain in the ass.
Yeah, because no fucking idea what you're doing at your company. You know what I mean? Like that's just all these companies, and like the startup model.
You're right.
The startup model that we had would have been better, but they just sold out to big business. You know what I mean? And that's your company. It's like, wasn't it? Did it start as a startup?
Oh, I don't work at the company that developed this thing.
Oh,
I work for a company that was brought in to like. So you know I work in FFRDC, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry, what now?
I work at FFRDC, Federally Funded Research and Development Center.
Oh, very cool.
So we were actually working with a customer that was trying to field this capability.
Huh.
And then yeah, so fun times.
I don't think your customer knew what the fuck he was doing, and I don't think the FFRDC, I don't think they know what they're doing either. That's the impression that I got from a quick Google search.
Well, we're not the ones that proposed the architecture, though. Now we did say
not.
like we've got like old applications that do this same kind of stuff, but it's not in the cloud. We're trying to move to the cloud. So stuff like that. It's a whole thing in a app.
Yeah, the cloud. Just dump everything on the cloud. What is that? A larger server.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Did you hear the interview that I think it was Vice President Harris? It was like, all of your data is up there?
Yes, it's in space.
We wish it was literally in space.
Oh, it literally is. Madam Vice President is, well, a terribly retarded individual who doesn't understand what a price ceiling is or what money is, but she needs more of it. And that is, again, like Facebook and Twitter and TikTok, unfortunately, because they're a Chinese app, they're Chinese compromise, and fucking YouTube, Google, which is back to Alphabet and shit. These people routinely buy congressmen and then have no idea that the congressmen don't know what a computer is.
Oh, do they now?
Fuck no, they're stupid. They are on retarded 24/7. The problem is there's routine violation of your Fourth Amendment rights and your basic common decency and sanity by stupid people who want more money and don't know how to purchase it properly.
So you say the thing about congressmen not being as technologically illiterate. I think this would have been 2000. Let me do the math here. 2011 or 2012. I want to say 2011.
Yep.
The Stop Online Piracy Act. Look it up.
Oh, SOPA. I remember SOPA. That was a fucking meme and a half.
Yes, it was. The Khan Academy even did did a video on it. It was about this whole thing about like, what is a site that is dedicated to the theft of intellectual property? What does that even mean?
Yeah, but now fortunately, even if SOPA, if passed in the original form, would not have fucking done a thing, because how do you police the internet, right? It's Google fucking with your algorithms. So you buy Google, or you control Google for the state after they got massive TDS, and that's how you control the content flow. But you're not going to legislate Google's algorithm to your liking, because Google will simply change it. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
You have no shot at doing something like that. Yeah, Sofa was a nice meme. People were concerned over it, and it never really mattered for much of anything.
I mean, it died. It died, and I don't even know if it was brought to a vote.
PIPA after that too. That was the
Senate. That was in the Senate, I think.
No, it wasn't. I think it was the House, but it would have made it to the Senate, and the senators would have been so on glitching that it wouldn't have mattered. I mean, if you when's the last time was it Senator Paul or somebody got on the fucking the Senate floor and asked everybody, do you know what a website is? Do you know what a search is? Do you know where your data are stored? Or is stored, frankly, if you would like to hear it that way. And the answer overwhelmingly is fuck no. But they'll spit out some half-baked propaganda from their other donors, like, oh my god, if they ask you this, say this.
It's like, do you know how your computer actually knows where Google.com is?
Oh, fuck no. Absolutely not. In fact, I don't...
Funny, because I actually do.
I didn't,
Funny, because I actually kind of do.
Oh, I'm sure you know. I don't know the exact, like, guts of how each search algorithm works. Like, there's how it connects and how it interfaces with the server. I'd never studied, like, servers. There's a specific, what's that branch of comp sci?
Networking.
Networking, but like network engineering, network something else as well.
Look up DNS. That's what.
There we go. That's what I was looking for. I never studied that shit. I was told by other techies that it was a fucking disaster and don't look at it. So I took them seriously because they were actually making products of value. And, but anyway.
Yeah, so like there's DNS, there's like address resolution protocol, there's border gateway protocol, there's a bunch of different protocols that you're supposed to that are supposed to help you like route traffic from one computer to another. That we basically just take for granted unless you open up a Wireshark and you're literally just looking at the packet flow, or you even care to do that.
Precious few people.
Fair enough.
But thankfully, because considering the cyber security protocols that I don't have to say anything further because you work that shit.
Yes. I
mean, hacking hardware hacking, if you will, is even fucking easier than the software that they don't. What's a script? You know what I mean? Like, do I USB into your fucking network? Fuck no, I hack it through the Wi-Fi, which means I connect, I fish your password, which is trivial, and I'm in.
It's like you'd be surprised how many people fall for the what is it? You need to reset your password. Please go to Bank of America, but it's AN. What is it? N.
Yeah. Fucking go to this website. Here's an input.
No, it's
box.
RN.
Here's an input box. Would you like to give us your password, please, so that we can access your server? And they will. They give you shit. Now, thankfully, that is a minority of people, but it is a frighteningly high proportion of people that would do that.
Does your company do the phishing exercises?
When I worked for them, they did, yes, and they were totally useless.
Why? Why do you think that?
Because people who are too stupid to fall for, who are stupid enough to fall for phishing scams, they're not going to remember the phishing lesson. I'll put it that way. So they're going to have that exercise, forget they had the fucking exercise, go back to whatever, humdrum, tedious bullshit they're working on. And then, I don't know.
Yeah, man, you hate to see it. Although, I will say, to get back to the whole thing, it's like, actually, did you hear there's a lawsuit against Georgia Tech for their shitty cybersecurity practices?
Huh? Wait, there is a lawsuit, but it's not for cybersecurity, is it?
Or not cybersecurity, data privacy. because of the breaches. It's like the whole like Georgian Tech and Will situation. I think it was.
Oh God. I don't know
So
how
all students data.xlsx.
Oh, I remember that. Yes. I remember that now. That was funny. I mean, it's that easy to hack something. It's never that fucking hard, by the way. There are ways, I'll put it this way, of telling that, ooh, this server sucks. These people are fucking stupid, shitty people who are evil, and you can manipulate the shit out of them, and they just give you shit, let alone hacking their shit. But I forget. There's something with the whole Epstein the people like the FBI put a whole bunch of Epstein shit on a server, and they're just like, I'll just walk into the server and grab it for free, that kind of thing. Cybersecurity. That's children who were fucking raped, dude. Like, thankfully their names were in that fucking list, but
What about the perpetrators?
The list is horribly fake. It's just, it's fake in a particular way. Almost all the people I think on that list, are dog shit. A lot of them aren't actually pedophiles. The rest of the pedophiles are connected to the people on the list. And there are actual pedophiles on that list. Plenty.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, the child rape networks used to be worse than they are now. I'll put it that way, thank God, because they were something else. Do you listen to Darknet Diaries at all? No, but I've heard of that. Is that it's a channel, right?
It's a podcast on Spotify. There's actually, I don't know. I just know they have a Spotify podcast and they have an Instagram account.
Okay.
One of their episodes dealt with, a pedophile ring, or at least a pedophile, like a CP website.
One of those dot onions or something else. I think it's dot onion.
Yeah.
So it'd be like a dot onion ring or some shit. Yeah, that happens. But the thing about the thing about the dark web is no one uses it, not even criminals, because criminals are too retarded to use the fucking dark web. And the you can go on Facebook or Instagram and ask somebody, do you have, cheese pizza or some shit? If you take a wild guess, wink wink, and know what you're looking at, oh, that one's a pedophile, I bet I can, do with that. Or if you're rich as fucking on the Epstein list, you're
It's called Welcome to Video, the podcast, the episode. It's about how they broke up this website using cryptocurrency of all things.
Fuck no. Hell no. Crypto is one of the funniest memes of the 21st century, I'd say. Let's have a fake money that is generated from nothing, that is literal fiat currency if it were to work, and convince people that it's real. And it's almost as fake as the US dollar. But,
shit. I mean, listen, can we advance tech? I hope we can advance tech enough to where we could have an AI call a football game for us.
Oh, hell yeah.
Days.
It'd replace some of the announcers, yeah. But technological
I meant play calling. Not
AI play calling?
Commentating, yeah.
Well, fuck, it'd be better than most of the college coaches and 3/4 of the NFL coaches that get fired every year anyway.
Because I can't be any worse than Matt Canada or Dave Patnode, am I right?
Oh,
or Arthur
Jesus
Smith.
Christ, hell no.
Oof, Arthur Smith, there's a name for you.
There is a name that will probably be forgotten for his dreadful sort of mismanaging of a sort of cursed team on a sort of important year for reasons, and then the quarterback sucks, so it didn't matter anyway.
I just remember losing it when we drafted Michael Penix Jr. and just rolling on the floor laughing.
What? Do you have any updates on that? Where the fuck is Penix?
He is the second string quarterback behind Kirk Cousins. But he did play in a preseason game. He had all of 2 drives and he looked pretty good. But then he sat for the rest of the preseason.
Wow.
And then they ran Taylor Heineke out there to suck. It was bad.
Yeah. I caught some of the preseason highlights. I'm just thinking like the Broncos are fucked this year. Fucking.
Jaden Daniels is gonna die.
Oh, it's Washington. Of course, he's going to die. They're full of criminals and curses and shit. I would not be surprised there's an ancient alien temple nearby, literally fucking with their heads or some shit.
Caleb Williams could do something.
Caleb Williams, yeah, the Bears might be uninterested this year. I think they're.
Drake May is not starting for the Patriots.
Nigga, what the fuck? Huh?
He went with Jacoby Brissett.
Huh? There's no way, right?
Don't ask.
There's no fucking way. Wait, hang on, let me Google this shit. I'm gonna Google this shit right now. Oh my god, he's getting fired after this season then. What the fuck? Hang on a sec. It's retarded.
I don't know what's worse. Drafting Michael Penix Jr. to basically ride the bench for 4 years after his fifth, and then maybe pick up his 5th year option to get like 1 year of starting production, or signing Kirk Cousins to be $100 million a year. Actually, not $100 million a year, $25 million per year, or something like that. Quarterbacks coach.
Okay. Christ, I don't know. I mean, fuck. Kirk is the best quarterback we've had by a landslide since Matt Ryan. So I'll take paying money for. I know, right? I'll take paying money for competency.
I would love to have Matt Ryan back as a quarterbacks coach.
Oh, holy shit. He'd be way the fuck better as a coach than, overwhelming majority of anybody who's ever done it. But, I'm 28-3, so let's put him on a suit in a fucking booth somewhere and just useless shit. Waste of talent. Yeah.
We did it again. We iced Daniel out of the podcast. My God.
Go ahead. Talk about it.
Watch sports. Play the lottery. I'm sorry, what? Spend money. Obey. I swear, like, the advertising ads have gotten, like, incrementally shittier and shittier and shittier. I was watching the Dan Marino Super Bowl against the 49ers. I was like, dude, these ads are fucking cool. It's obvious, like, literal, like, druggy propaganda. Like, it literally attacks, like, your fucking drug addictions and shit, like your dopamine addictions. But
you mean your gambling addiction?
Your dopamine addiction, yes. Or dorkmine, as some of us call it sometimes. But what happens is those commercials rather, way the fuck better than everything that's come after.
Dude, do you remember when What's Up was the meme?
I remember when Vine was the thing too, briefly. Vine was better anyway. What's up?
Oh, I'm referring to the Bud Light commercial. Or was it Budweiser?
Pit of Misery, dilly dilly.
Oh God.
That was funny.
Yeah, and then there's the What's Up? Just watching the game, having a bud. True.
Oh my God.
What's up?
What's up, dude? Why can't we legalize this drug? We can legalize the other ones.
What's
money.
up?
And forgetting this drug is a drug.
Yeah. But yeah, like ads lately kind of suck. It's like you got to get an ad blocker just for YouTube, and they'll try to like stop you from using it.
Oh, of course, and they shadow ban all your content, and you don't even have to shadow ban anymore. It's all bots. Do you look at any YouTube comments anymore?
No, sometimes.
Because like 10, 12 years ago, I loved the YouTube comment sections. There were actual on certain videos, I should say. There were either funny shit or, like, legitimate conversation happening. And because it wasn't this fucking, ADHD, character limited, 7-second, wannabe 7-second fucking product, TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
You could actually have a fucking conversation with somebody who was real. And
Rest
usually
in peace
strange.
to TikTok shorts. Or YouTube shorts.
Oh, they're gone?
No, they're still around. So I should say rest in peace our attention spans.
Oh, please. But it's best to be off their screens anyway.
I mean, like, we've been rambling for almost an hour.
Right. But like, this is a real human conversation. Like,
Yes.
you can't, when you have that many fucking bots in the way, good luck. Cause it's all bots. Cause it's everyone's favorite election season, the one that's already over before it started. And all of a sudden, now, front page of your thing is like, watch this orange meme and look at this pantsuit. And ultimately, look at what we want you to believe, which is we forgot to. Because the news now is funny, silly propagandists at the top lying to people.
There are a few Calvin and Hobbes comics that may have called it. There's like one about where Calvin talks about the basically politics becoming like theater. Or like
a performative art, yes.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. There's it's like he's talking about how politics is like a horse race or something like that.
Well, politics boils down to it's the economy, stupid, and the senators are the fucking the stocks.
Okay, I found it. I like following the news. News organizations know I won't sit still for any serious discussion of complex or boring issues. They give me what I want. Antics, emotional confrontations, soundbites, scandals, sob stories, and popularity polls. All packaged as a soap opera and a horse race. It's very entertaining.
Have you seen any of, hey, data nerds rise up. Have you seen the polling this election cycle at all?
It seems like a mess. It's like
one
poll will say Trump is leading everywhere. One poll will say Harris is leading everywhere. I think the Real Clear Politics average is supposed to like aggregate everything and be like, even then it's still skewed by like
all
a handful of like push polls.
All
I believe is what you're talking. Yeah.
Anuj, get ready for this.
Yeah.
All of it, without exception, is fake. Every last one. I did projects on this. It's all fake. Every last poll is fake. Without exception. Now at least. Maybe in the past, I don't know about that. But when you're aggregating fake data, your models, garbage in, garbage out. That's what we were taught, right? So,
yes.
All your polling, I'll give you an example. Trump got shot in Pennsylvania. That's going to change your polling.
Oh, God.
Guess what happened?
Yeah.
Trump
it did?
got shot. Biden was still, I don't remember. But Trump got shot, and so he naturally is leading the polls.
Yes.
Kamala Harris, barely even a fucking week later, she is now, it's an 11-point swing. Which one was it? Harris was up 11 points immediately on entering the race in Michigan, in a fucking swing state. 11 points after Biden was losing to Trump there in a week for a person who couldn't win California back in any primary ever. Ooh. What the fuck are you talking about? Okay? So, obvious, retarded fake shit.
I don't know why people do polling. I think he might have been onto something in 2016, Trump, when he was like, yeah, he liked to disregard the polls.
Oh, yes.
And, I mean, it paid off. He won.
Yes. And this is for any candidate, really, regardless of your whatever. I mean, it's best to quite literally ignore the quote-unquote polling, because, and if you notice this, you'll watch an image, you'll see an image of the polling, because all the news agencies, you got to show the polls, you got to show the polls. Yes. It's their news programming.
It's either like a Fox News poll or a Harvard Harris poll or like Politico,
or
Real Clear poll. YouGov, there's one for you.
No shit. All this shit.
I think most people would like to use the Real Clear Politics average just to be like,
right,
aggregate everything.
And that's natural. The problem is, if it's averaging fake shit now. That's the problem. So the news agencies, if you look at what they do, it's always, here's the numbers, 58, 49, 58, 49, 49, 48, 49,
Margin
50.
of error.
Margin of error, like, should be like 25, but no, it's like, 0.5 or whatever the fuck. So it's very tightly skewed, or rather, well, something truthful came out there, very tightly distributed around the mean. And
something registered voters, likely voters.
Right, like likely voter, registered voter. What did you sample? You went to a university somewhere, if you ever went there and just get a skewed sample, or, you know, you just make shit up for the news story. And then you dump it and you recycle it and you recycle the image, but you flip the numbers around a little bit. And that's the polling on, like, especially like MSNBC. Holy shit, MSNBC is a disaster. It's funny. And then they talk about like how, well, we want our candidate to win. Can you take a guess who that is? Because we don't remember either. Because some of them will say, Joe Biden will win in November. Again. And I'm like, are you serious? Did you say that live on air? Yes.
Was this before or after that debate?
After Biden said he was dropping the fuck out. Biden is going to win. Biden is your president. Right? Fuck no. But he's there sometimes. Objective reporting.
He's on vacation or something is what I've heard.
That's about as real as his obviously fabricated fucking COVID diagnosis.
Is that what it was?
He got COVID for 2 minutes, literally, and then he's been so fucked up in his brain for so many years now. That's what all of his symptoms are neurologic. He's dying, he's old, he's a sick, evil piece of shit. And that's manifesting in literal neurologic problems. So anything, they didn't even have it, it's just straight up fake shit. When was the last time anybody you knew got COVID? 2 years ago, maybe?
Oh, yeah, actually, funny you should mention that. I had about a COVID around that time. It was not pretty.
Was it COVID or something?
It was, so I woke up in the middle of the night with a fever, and I basically grabbed a Bounty, soaked it in water, left it in the freezer for a little bit, and then tried to go back to sleep with it on my, I periodically get up, do the thing again. In the morning, I got tested, and they said, yeah, you're COVID positive. We can give you Paxlovid.
What the fuck are they talking about?
This was after I'd gotten, after I had already gotten vaccinated at the time. So it could have been worse. So maybe it could have been worse.
So there's no way that was COVID. There was no fucking way that was COVID. Because you got vaccinated, right?
Yeah. Well, it could have been COVID. You never know. The test said it was COVID. They gave me Paxlovid and I kicked it in a week. Right. 5 days. After I got on the Paxlovid.
Well, I'm glad it didn't damage you or anything severely, but then again, the chems and the disease, if you're healthy and, especially if you're, sound of mind, you're fine.
So far, so good. Yeah, but since then I can't say I've actually had it. The worst maybe I've had is maybe just the odd allergy breakout, and that's.
The odd allergy, by the way, it's you have in your brain you have a neurotransmitter called histamine, and histamine cycles throughout your entire body. It propagates or it generates some of your immune responses, and especially your allergic reactions. Right?
Yep.
So you have antihistamines that knock down your swelling in your nose or something like that.
Yeah.
You can actually have brain stimulation in areas of your brain to release histamine that will give you allergy-like symptoms. These, you think of it if you think there's some strange shit. I don't know if you've felt this or been aware of this. There's strange shit going on in the world right now. And I'll be honest with you, I've had brief bouts of allergies for 30 seconds. And I used to have some allergies and shit. So I'm like, I'm having allergies again. And I figured out it was my brain. And I don't know exactly why, but I'm pretty sure that you know, all the fucking, like, medicine is a disaster after COVID, right? It's just prescribe pills and don't think about it. But we need to look into the fact that if there's stimulation in your brain, you're going to have responses. So how are our brains being stimulated? Right? And I think, you know, like allergies, I think that's literally like a psychosomatic thing where you have a neural stimulus from something you interact with, and that gives you an allergy. And doctors misdiagnose that, well, you're allergic to like the fucking mold in the air that doesn't exist. You know what I mean?
I will say, so I suffered my like first anaphylactic outbreak when I was really young, but since then I haven't had any issues. Most of it I think is because I've been like really careful, but
yeah,
I think a good chunk of it is also maybe I'm developing a tolerance or something.
No, I think you're just healthy, right? Like you're healthy, you work out, you're happy, optimistic for the most part. And so that all matters. Yeah, of course. That matters and keeps you healthy. And there's, you know, you're not, unless you have like some rare genetic shit, like most people really aren't that prone to allergies, but they're often misdiagnosed as, oh, you have seasonal allergies. You know what I mean? Fuck no, you don't. You have other shit that's happening, you know, your mental is off a little bit today or shit like that. But that's gotta be a diagnosis for somebody to give you a pill.
Funny, because I am susceptible to seasonal allergies.
Maybe a little bit susceptible, but at the most, it's because I just say this because my mom, and she's worked in medicine for years, and she used to bitch at me as a child about how a lot of fucking shit's misdiagnosed, a lot of shit is misunderstood. Don't worry about your allergies. Worry less about everything, and then your health gets better, and you stop worrying about. You stop worrying about shit. That's the key. And I think honestly, like a lot of people are anxious over thoughts like I'm susceptible to disease. I'm weak, right? Oh my god, it's spring. I'm gonna get sick as a dog this year. I did that shit like 2 years ago. I was like, what if I think this year I'm not gonna get sick? I'm healthier than I was last year. You know what I mean? And let me pay attention. I'm like, fuck, I didn't get allergies this year in this heavily allergen town, like high allergen town on the Weather Channel. Bullshit. Right? My life is better. My mental is better.
That's a fair point. I don't actually, since I moved to Virginia, I don't think my seasonal allergy has been that bad. So far so good.
Yes. But yeah, no, and I think, listen, I used to be a really cynical guy, and now, like I said, over the past 2 years, it's a lot more positive, and I think our outlook on society is, it's influencing that, right? I think people, when you think positively, and it's like, I'm gonna think positively to others today, right? I do this all the time. It's like an exercise. I will literally like think positive thoughts to other people. And I think there's truth to that, right? I think there's truth to, we can make the world around us better with our minds, and then everything flows from that. And I used to not believe that hardly at all.
Aw.
Huge difference in my perception of reality. And then I realized, okay, things are getting better, especially for good people, right? It's really, how do you get the most for the most people? And that's a whole other topic. But and you're talking about like going into basically working with people daily, like, you know, more of a people-oriented career.
Sure.
I guess I wanted the same thing. That's one of the reasons I quit my job, the last one. So positive thoughts to people, really important. Positive thoughts actually in location. Like, if you ever like go to a location and all of a sudden your thoughts are shitty and dark, it's not you, right? That's what I learned. That's a creepy thing I learned a long time ago. if you get in dark thoughts of the building, you get in dark thought, like you're walking down the street, everything's good. I got dark, shitty thoughts. It's from somewhere else. Because, it's like, wait a minute. I'm healthy. I'm fine. Why the fuck am I getting dark shit? And positive thoughts are absolutely going to be, from you or, I'm going to assume people looking out for you. That's how I'd like to look at it.
Is this the whole thing about he radiates positive energy versus he radiates negative energy, or this place is...
Oh my God. You can tell. After a while, you get to tell, like, you take one look at a guy and like, oh, Jesus Christ, you're sick and you're evil and fucked up. Stay the fuck away or, fuck with them. I like fucking with people occasionally. People who radiate, negativity are, oftentimes fun to fuck with. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Alright. I can see it. Hopefully, at least for the football team, we keep the positive vibes going, especially in the trap game. You could argue it's a trap game. I'm just saying. We already lost to Bowling Green once.
What was like the first year of Jeff Collins? We lost that FCS team.
We lost to the Citadel. I was at that game.
Yeah.
Steelers was at that game too. And like I walked in, I was like, "What the hell? What was that?" I was like, "What?"
Yeah, I don't know.
The Temple game was worse. We only scored a safety.
Yeah,
I just remember you going off on a rant in my DMs after Virginia Tech.
Oh my God, I probably did.
I know you did.
One of my several. It's like, oh my God, we're fucked. Life is terrible and we're dying, and our football team sucks. Anyway.
Remember that one time you went off on a rant while doing the NIU game, and you were like, "Do we even practice?" Turns out you might have been onto something.
Yeah, I don't remember that. Did we even practice? Sounds just about right. I don't think we practiced all that much under Jeff.
Well, according to this one article in the AJC, apparently they didn't.
Oh, the AJC. And yes, they're probably right on that. Kind of hard to fuck that one up.
But yeah, no. God bless Brent Key. I know people probably wanted Willie Fritz or Jamie Chadwell as their head coach. I will say I would have loved to have Jamie Chadwell as our head coach.
Meh. I think Key's better.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, look at our recruiting class this year that we're working on.
Significantly better, yes.
We even got a 5-star.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Josh Petty is considered a 5-star by a few recruiting services.
Okay. Interesting. That's sign of the times, I think.
Yeah, we even got a guy. We even flipped a guy from UGA after we beat FSU.
No shit, we did.
Christian Garrett.
Oh, really?
He's a 4-star DT.
Oh shit.
That's like we got like 3 4-star offensive linemen currently in this class.
He would like to be a starter, as opposed to buried in the depth behind a bunch of literal criminals.
Something like that.
Yes, if you ever want criminals for a position on a football team, it's going to be in the trenches, mainly on defense.
What about a wide receiver? You know what I'm talking about.
They're usually weird and all kinds of drugs.
Oof. But yeah, so we've got. So I'm using On3 for this, but let's see. Of our top recruits, okay, so our highest recruit is an offensive lineman. Then you got a defensive lineman, you got a cornerback, and then you got another offensive lineman and another offensive lineman, and then you got a safety, and then you got a wide receiver. So yeah. 4 of the top 5 recruits that we have are in the trenches.
Very nice.
You'll love to see it.
Well, fuck with the defense that can tackle. Why need an AT?
Speaking of which, did you our defensive line might be good this year?
Better than average.
I mean, we already know our offensive line's pretty damn good. So.
Yeah. Better than it used to be.
Yeah. Which gets me thinking, do you think Jeep Wade's gonna get poached? I have this feeling
Wait,
Jeep Wade is the offensive line coach. Him or Buster Faulkner could get poached like next year.
Possibly, but the position coaches for like Georgia Tech, unless we make a bowl game, probably not. At most the AC or rather OC or DC.
So, I mean, we did just like recently extend Buster Faulkner, so I shouldn't be worried, but I am. But yeah, looking forward to tomorrow's game under the lights of Bobby Dodd. I'll have my trumpet in hand in the middle of the night, hopefully busting out the fight songs after a victory.
Yay.
I haven't gotten any noise complaints yet.
They're not going to. I don't think they hear you anyway.
Who the hell knows? I don't even know how thin these walls are, although during COVID I would sometimes get woken up by kids jumping in the apartment above me.
Huh?
Well, this is during COVID, so it is what it is. But yeah, that was a thing.
Interesting. I don't think it was kids. But anyway.
That was fun. Another classic mega episode. You'll have to see it.
Anything from our illustrious host? How are you doing, Daniel? Are you alive?